Distinguished senators, please allow me to introduce my dual presentation, the main reason of my being here. I am seeking adoption into the Nigerian Constitution for us descendants of 1619 Atlantic slave trade as transnational citizens. I am also seeking an endorsement for my project titled, Make Your Country Your Home, to be able to assist Nigeria in its developmental process. Distinguished senators, I speak for all slave descendants, including myself. I bring to your attention our plight of remaining in diaspora without being properly recognized. I am hereby requesting constitutive value for us as a people in diaspora, whose foreparents were savagely forced out of Africa throughout the 1619 Atlantic slave trade era. I seek that recognition and endorsement through the Nigeria's constitution as transnational citizens. As king and father of the returnees to Africa and Africans around the world, I seek the acknowledgement for African Americans from the American continent and other African slave descendants worldwide to be accepted constitutionally and given joint priority as slave descendants in the Constitution of Nigeria with no tribe attachment, since I consider all Africans as one, regardless of tribe, race, or religion. My power, courage, faith, and willingness as a prophet, along with being a career diplomat, is to help in this time of Africa's internal and international struggles. Also to see Africa being respected in the Committee of Nations, especially Nigeria. Psychologically speaking, we are still in bondage. We need our mental freedom. The key for us to get this freedom is in your hands. I am asking the Senate to open the door and accept us back home through your Constitution as true Africans. Distinguished senators, I came to West Africa a few years ago on a missionary call. And I deem it a privilege to be called by God for this great mission and to encourage my African families, particularly my Nigerian families, to help stop them from running away from their country, dying thoughtlessly and untimely in their quest of seeking greener pastures in foreign nations. With this life-risking situation, face many dangers, I consider it my duty to help Nigerians and Africans to develop a sense of oneness, ownership, stay in Africa, develop it, and try to have this concept replicated in other countries in Africa. Distinguished senators, I will sincerely appreciate if Nigeria's constitutional laws are amended to accept us as returnees of 1619 Atlantic slave trade descendants in order to strengthen relationship and our self-respect. This will surely take us back home safely, spiritually in confidence, with emotional healing, and a strong family attachment, followed with love. Like I always say, love is sacrifice, long-suffering, tolerance, and forgiveness. These four elements are what propelled me to accept this calling. Distinguished senators, on behalf of my families of slave descendants, I would like to establish here, we are not slaves. Since slavery ended a very long time ago. But we are your foreign relatives that was never properly reintroduced back home in Africa. We are mentally trapped and want to be free. We have accepted all African countries' apologies for their involvement in slavery, but sorry, cannot free us, who are slave descendants. Only love can, which is virtually free to give. I hope to receive your love today. I speak for all slave descendants. We are not asking you to assist us in an exodus to return home to Africa, when most of the American countries are virtually underpopulated and also very rich in resources of all kinds. But we would like to preserve our integrity as Africans born out of the African continent. As Africans in diaspora, we will appreciate your acceptance and see it as a great step to regain our dignity and respect globally. It will also put us in a position to help strengthen Africa, since we are part of Africans' lavish foreign resources respectfully, and have the knowledge to help develop Nigeria. History shows that we, of slave descendants, have contributed our talents and ability in most of the developed countries in the world, and still doing that continuously. I believe giving us the break as transnational citizens will help build Africa, starting from Nigeria, the heartbeat of Africa. Distinguished senators, I am asking blacks around the world to deem this action as a responsibility to our future generation, while I make this commitment to upgrade the quality and overall value of our people worldwide. I have no desire to detract from what I am establishing here as a black African American who want constitutive value for us of 1619 Atlantic slave trade descendants. We are already doing our part monetary on notice to most brothers and sisters in Africa. I plead consistently for constitutive value for us as a people in diaspora. Help us to do so in this time of all African struggles, so we can bring our abilities on board and help Africa in her security, peace, and developmental process through our free trade strategies that will create jobs on both sides of the continent. Distinguished senators, as stated earlier, I plead for a secure place in the Constitution for us, whose parents were forced out of Africa 422 years ago through the 1619 slave trade era, to be given a transnational citizenship in Nigeria. Distinguished senators, please oblige me to elaborate a little on this subject matter. After 422 years, our East Indian and Chinese brothers and sisters from Asia still point to their homeland as home, and they are absolutely correct. But most blacks in diaspora are ashamed to point to Africa as home because of the state Africans are in, which we must help fix and protect our mother's pride. Let me be candid with regards to my observation. Some Africans in diaspora are distanced enough in time not to include themselves as people from Africa. But by the same token, those who stigmatize principalism often discover the need to revert to it. This behavior led me to know how proud we are as a people. I believe, should we be given a chance with respect to the Constitution, we will be better able to help contribute our quota I am divinely called to push start this process with the understanding that effective communication is essential. I hope I have established it today. I am called to Nigeria, which I consider to be the largest African university for anyone from any part of the globe to attend. It is a university without walls or barriers, which I will personally recommend not only for Africans, but for all other groups for a better understanding of African politics and culture. The lesson I have learned in Nigeria as a prophet, a king, and as a career diplomat involves our very self at all levels. In the broader sense, we cannot be sure of any outside help at all. We must do it ourselves. In other words, love is the cure in which the African has to prosper. Above all, loving ourselves offers a more promising way to bring together all humanity in peace. On this note, I take the opportunity to thank my Caucasian brothers and sisters who are always reminding us who we really are, in this sense of being American citizens or any other citizen outside Africa, by telling us we are first black, then African, before American, or whatever. We are considered to be black African Americans after 422 years. This action also tells me that we must do something with regards to the development of Africa, so that we can be proud and point to Africa and say, that is where we come from when we are away from Africa. Let me show the positive effect of returnees' adoption into the Constitution of Nigeria as transnational citizens. Distinguished senators, I take this opportunity as a career diplomat and the first king and father of the returnees to Africa and Africans around the world to share this vastly divine, comprehensive, strategic vision with the Senate of Nigeria for the rest of Africa to understand what will be achieved when we are accepted into the Constitution as a family through the transnational citizenship. This act will certainly bring reunion and love, which comes with all kinds of help in this time of African daily struggles. It will even help with the problem of how we diasporans could be motivated to act accordingly with regards to strength of the ethnic of care as a people. And so, it must be psychologically possible to take on this role I have taken, to defend, improve, and rebrand the integrity and image of our people all over the world, to correct, recreate, and launch a decaying image for blacks back on the path of growth and respectability, to create a platform for worldwide acceptability of a dignified growth path for our people. These will secure security and peace among our people, rapid development and transformation of our economy, improved relevance in the Committee of Nations, and an enabling and investment welcoming economy. We will also assist to build adequate human resources capacity, providing a conducive work environment for lots of Nigerians and enhance effective service delivery to the Nigerian public. We will introduce investors to the following businesses. For example, hay cutter combined machine for gathering cow feed. This will create jobs and ease conflicts. Coconut refinery, which will produce coconut oil, jewelry, concentrated food spices, handicraft products, and many more. Sugar factories that will produce alcohol of all kinds for medicine, mentholated spirit, vinegar of different kinds, nutritious palm oil, along with different grades of sugar, fuel for engines, welders, engineers, mechanics, securities, and a whole lot of other areas where we can create jobs for Nigerians. We would like to encourage cotton farming, which is a major product in our daily lives. We will also, with professional help, introduce new roots and seeds that will produce vegetables, teas, and other spices. Additional things, I intend to encourage for Nigerians' image and development as a responsible African diaspora and a career diplomat under the recognition as a transnational citizen of Nigeria. I will work with our professionals to engage in speaking and publishing to all Nigerian associations and other African communities around the world on the need for image laundering, damage control, and get Nigeria and other nations involved in this campaign operation for Make Your Country Your Home, since citizens' action affect other nations. I will help to reclaim Nigeria's respect stolen by lies and highlight the country's strength and opportunity. I will work through the media and other creative outlets I know can be gainful to this vision for Nigeria. I will work with experts in all areas of business, both in and out of Nigeria, to gain meaningful advice that will benefit this program in terms of peace and development. I will help to enhance the tourism value of Nigeria and reflectively show off the beauty of this country and its culture through our arts and other platforms. I will help make available and showcase areas of investment opportunities to foreign investors to wake up moribund industries and build infrastructure that can develop the water bodies of Nigeria. I will help make millionaires in Nigeria with other huge infrastructural changes that will benefit the government and the people through our various projects. I will advertise Nigeria globally as a country with the potential to be the fastest growing economy in Africa. I will make known to the world through proper education and re-education that Nigeria is a God-fearing nation and safe for foreign investors to invest. With my divine comprehensive plan, I will help clean up Nigeria, build a peace city in one of the states of choice for global peace believers from around the world to participate in its activity. This will boost tourism to its maximum potential. Considering the enormity of my Vision Commission, I will seek partnership in similar or like-minded organizations or groups in Nigeria and abroad for support and business involvement. I will, with the assistance of professional negotiators around the globe, solicit and encourage companies globally to buy into our program package for Nigeria refugees, returnees, to assist in relieving some of these burden of the government in and out of Africa, and give them a chance to make their country their home. Since no government in the world can find jobs for all its citizens. Through the cooperation of good foreign partners and the industries I have identified as unpopular but resourceful, I can make much appropriate use and cause Nigeria to be respected around the world and alleviate some of these immediate refugee problems through my procedure and ethical approach. Moreover, if given the opportunity to officially represent Nigeria as a patriotic slave descendant returnees in this technological age, I will digitize and organize seminars and business talks for states, citywide, towns, and local government area on relevant topics to make your country your home. This will create jobs, since language will not be a barrier. Unemployed educators and citizens of different work categories will be employed, not excluding those thousands of brilliant professors who are sitting at home hopelessly, I repeat, hopelessly, and becoming wasted daily in society, which is dangerous for any nation. This situation leads to destructive corruption and insecurity in a nation. It is dangerous when intellectuals are leaving Africa with corruption in their hearts. This causes negative effects and encourages foreign attack on the economy of their country. We learn that youths in Africa are burned to death for stealing a bowl of soup or anything for their survival. We also learned that youths are using their business skills to commit internet crimes and other criminal activities in the country, which sent a wrong message to the rest of the world and blaming it on lack of jobs, which no government in the world can find for everyone, but can set the environment for such action. Having stable employment surely gives room for moral attitudinal change, which encompasses great changes in the habit, attitudes, and behavior of the citizen of the country. In the character of all leaders at all levels, and remarkable increase or improvement in the humility, honesty, integrity, accountability, sanctity, and sincerity of leaders at all stages, and shun ethnic and religious dichotomy, and become actively involved in the development of Nigeria through patriotism, and stop our people from running away from Africa. This will create millions of jobs at all levels for Nigerians, and most of all, bring an end to food insecurity. Our floodlight seminars will bring positive changes in social societal growth and development. That is, a good general increase and improvement in social conformism, in observing rules that makes a country progress, in maintaining peace and order, in projecting and propagating the right or appropriate social ethics and etiquette, etc., etc. Distinguished senators, I would like to emphasize that every individual, our lecturers, our resource persons, and the people we have spoken with during our test run campaigns in Nigeria are encouraged and ready to display our banners or stickers of "Make Your Country Your Home" slogan on their motor vehicles, business centers, homes, schools, offices, marketplace, to help publicize the envisaged epoch-making change. This surely will help change the mindset of Africans, especially Nigerians, for a better Nigeria and the rest of Africa for a better continent and world. Distinguished senators, I believe these divine instructions and quick action will move Nigeria quickly and rescue it from many ethno-religious and fratricidal sporadic conflicts, and get it moving towards peace and development by educating Nigerians on security and peace and what it brings to a nation. This makes a nation more manageable. This will surely give Nigeria a place of pride in the Committee of Nations. Distinguished senators, for years and centuries, Africa has been one of the most exploited continents in the history of the world and humanity. It is called the Dark Continent. Our people suffered all of the pain and the affliction that could have been mustered up by other nations. And it is our continent which has experienced slavery at its worst according to history. Africa has experienced all of the lowest standards that we can think of by the exploitation inflicted upon it by other selfish and greedy nations. I believe if Africa does not have peace, world peace will be difficult to achieve. After scrutinizing my divine instructions, I saw that only the black race can bring world peace, since we are the custodian of humanity. With emphasis on a divine comprehensive strategic plan for peace and development for Nigeria, distinguished senators, building of a peace city in one of the 36 states in Nigeria is in my vision as a returning. This city will transform the country image and give it a rebirth through our peace policies. Proposal for this divine vision city is already in a written format to be activated in Africa. This city will not cause Nigeria a koba, since it will be built by us, diasporans, for ourselves integrity preservation. This will give Nigerians at all levels jobs. Distinguished senators, I take this opportunity to advise the federal and state government to help rebrand Nigeria through your administration on your watch. Allow more awareness creation. Repackage the country tourism potentialities. I will not go into details here or derailed, since the purpose of my standing here is for the acceptance into the Nigerian family through the Constitution as transnational citizens. Distinguished senators, on behalf of descendants of 1619th Atlantic slave trade, we would like to be recognized as a family into the Nigerian Constitution as transnational citizens and not attached to any tribe. This will help us to be recognized for who we really are and also give us the chance to help strengthen the security, peace, and development for Nigeria. Distinguished senators, allow me to present some historical benefits that Nigeria will gain from adopting us as transnational citizens. For example, Nigeria will be a central hub for Africans around the world, an opportunity for a global peace city to be erected in Nigeria. Nigeria will be developed into an African economic superpower of the world, an opportunity for Nigerian leaders to get into political affairs of our world and always be in office as a very important contributor on human affairs and be in history as a builder of a new Africa. An opportunity to be a godfather, to make your country your home and be written in history as a man of peace. An opportunity for Nigeria to be written in world history as a world changer. An opportunity for Nigeria to be developed as a global sustainer of peace. An opportunity for state government to act as a supporting marketing coordinator in the country. an opportunity for a designated position in the state to mount a billboard, poster, and banners for the project titled Make Your Country Your Home. An opportunity to rebrand, reposition, bettering, and uplifting the fortunes of the country and repatriate Nigeria's resources from the diaspora. Nigeria's additional benefits: more awareness creation among the people. Help stop Africans from running away from Africa, especially Nigerians. More patriotism practices among the citizenry. Peace and love in Africa. Help rebrand Africa with Nigeria as a case study. Help stop human trafficking and modern slavery in and out of Africa. Help improve Africa's visibility globally in a positive light and stimulate foreign direct investment. It will create more industries and employment opportunities for the citizenry. It will help upgrade most riverine and rural dwellers to modern civilization. It will help repackage Nigeria's maritime industry potentials. It will reduce the cost of policing and security to the government. It will upgrade the sanitary status of the environment. It will boost the tourism potential and identify Nigeria as a key sector for trade. It is an additional prognosis towards actualizing the dream world beyond oil. It will enhance the nation's export potentials. Africans will live longer with fewer difficulties. Distinguished senators, I was born on the American continent. I believe my birth and place is for a divine purpose. Where I am placed gives me the opportunity to look in the inside of Africa through those who came to where I am from. Along with the help of technology, and I've been present here, which also helped me to discover some unpleasant things which I know could be changed. With my mindset as an American, I know that Africa cannot become a great continent unless all diasporans play our own unique roles as one African people. We must remove the stigma, that curse, that bitterness, that hate, and start loving each other as one people. Africans in Africa, along with those in the third world countries, use each other when it is possible as psychological shelter, which leads to selfish monetary gains that does not last. Records shows some Nigerians' family at home depend on remittance sent home to them by their family members who live and work in developed countries out of Africa. This behavior is almost in all of Africa. Africans worldwide must join minds as one for a complete change of mindset for the building of Africa. We must teach our families to develop a sense of ownership as a strategy, a measure to get rid of this virus that is seriously troubling us, and become truly well organized and institutionalized. Africans must stop eating the seeds and prepare to start eating the fruits. Let me throw some light on Nigerians' modern diasporans. They contribute to the advancement of their host countries very well because they are usually highly skilled immigrants. These immigrants are doing exactly what my foreparents did in the 1619 Atlantic slave trade. My foreparents were forced to deliver good service. The only difference is today the modern-day African migrants is doing it voluntarily. The question is it a curse, psychological abandonment, or inferiority complex? From my research, I found out that Nigerians abroad remitted $21 billion home in 2015 and topped it with remittance of $34 billion in 2016. That is supposed to be seed money, but instead it automatically becomes fruit for consumption. Nigerians are not the only Africans out of Africa. I only use this example as a case study. Think about the rest of diasporans and what really can be done in terms of our contribution towards Nigeria's development. Nigerians need to be more productive in terms of producing products for trade. Likewise, self-consumption. This will give us in diaspora an opportunity to free trade with you. Nigerians and the rest of Africa need all its knowledge and skill, brothers and sisters around the globe home. They are highly valued and rewarded in this time of building because such knowledge directly drives economic growth. Distinguished senators, help us to contribute to the development of Nigeria. African diasporans are in their millions. The constitutional laws for adjustment I seek today, I believe, are critical to our progress. It will automatically open the window of opportunities for those who return to engage in Nigeria's building procedures. And those who choose to remain in their country of birth can free trade with Nigerian business for the expansion of their businesses. It will also give us a chance to collaborate with the federal or state government in Nigeria that is truly serious about their potential role in national development for the rest of Africa to emulate. Give us the right conditions. Do not shut us out. Reposition your focus for a booming economy, a new Nigeria, and a new Africa. From my other research, I found out that a few elected Nigerian state governors have had diasporan experience, but no president of Nigeria has lived and worked abroad as an immigrant professional, which is also good. They gain lots of credit as patriotic Nigerians. I also believe Nigerian presidents, with their professional and social homegrown experience, they should be able to connect with our psychological struggles and prioritize the potential contributions of diasporans towards Nigeria's development. I also believe vehicles should be put in place to repatriate diasporans' talent, along with those whose parents were savagely forced out of the country. Sorry is not good enough without action. Our overall building development strategy for Nigeria, in which the rest of Africa is sure to emulate through our transnational citizenship adoption, is to help stop Africans from running away from Africa. This will reduce the burden to other countries and help to regain respect as a nation and continent. These revolutionary ideas could be discussed on acceptance and endorsement on a more conducive platform for global change towards security, peace, and development in Africa for a One Africa order. I believe Africans are faced with catastrophic circumstances that will affect the developed countries if not taken seriously. Our program, Make Your Country Your Home campaign, is an introduction to the historical, legal, psychological methods of understanding development as well as abandonment through education, patriotism, to help Nigeria in its developmental process and to help Africans to understand the importance of peace, love, and unity among themselves, and what it brings in terms of personal and national development. It is also to encourage an acceptable heaven or a place we Africans who were born outside of Africa, of the slave ancestral background, to point to and call home for a self-integrity preservation and have our mental freedom. Make Your Country Your Home campaign is also geared to help Nigerians and Africans all over the world to develop a sense of oneness and ownership. This, I believe, will surely help stop Africans from running away from Africa and help them to make their country their home. Make Your Country Your Home is to remind Africans that they are making a declaration of independence in the name of their own individual freedom. And in their freedom lies the freedom of our world. Our slogan is supported by an engraved picture of I into the Zuma rock, which most Africans I met and worked with accepted by the interpretation of Zuma rock as a symbol of strength, peace, and unity. The Zuma rock is one of the symbols of Nigeria, which stands at 725 meters tall and around 3.1 kilometers in circumference. To see such a majestic natural wonder really shows strength, unity, peace for Africa. Hartman's Global Rescue Mission, Make Your Country Your Home campaign's commitment to economic development is a reflection of my determination to improve the economic condition of the African people and an affirmation of the role of the African people to bringing about this outcome through a variety of social, economic, and institutional means. The acceptance of this vision by the people reaffirms this commitment. It provides a comprehensive strategy for inclusive development, building on the growing strength of the Nigerian economy, while also addressing weaknesses that have surfaced in terms of Nigeria's patriotism to their country, and help stop them from running away from Africa. Make Your Country Your Home campaign addressed itself to the challenges of reaching out to the people both faster and more inclusive. The trial campaign growth achieved in the past few years demonstrates that we have learned how to bring about changes through reorientation. Poverty, whether we look at it narrowly in terms of the population below consumption-based poverty line, or more broadly in terms of population without access to essential service, I believe is the cause of people running away from their country to seek greener pastures elsewhere. People have a right to expect that the evidently increased economic capabilities of their economy are translated into accelerating progress in these dimensions. Hartman's Global Rescue Mission, Make Your Country Your Home campaign, make people to understand the need for one to stay back in their country and help develop it to be in line with developed countries. Make Your Country Your Home campaign will help to ensure that the struggle for the removal of chronic poverty, ignorance, and disease will register major gains in the Nigerian society. We are confident that Make Your Country Your Home campaign will achieve its target and objectives despite of the challenges we face. This will be a major step in realizing our vision of a prosperous, inclusive, happy, and caring Africa, where all citizens reap the benefit of economic development and feel empowered and stop running away from home. This will give me my mental freedom. Your role is essential and unavoidable in the construction of a sound, expanding economy for this entire Africa and the world, starting from Nigeria. Your Excellency, Senate President Dr. Ahmed Lawan, distinguished senators of the National Assembly, refer to the subject matter I present here with regards to the disrespect, pain, shame, poor development of our people and countries, our people running away from their undeveloped countries for assumed better life and dying thoughtlessly and untimely in these countries, and most of all, blacks born in Nigeria from slave descendant parents who are not Nigerians and denied citizenship according to the laws of the Constitution of Nigeria. I hereby request for the House to make that room for acceptance to adopt those that were born in Nigeria from us, along with us, whose foreparents were savagely forced out of Africa 422 years ago in the 1619 Atlantic slave trade, and give me, along with the others, the opportunity to be a part of this great nation as a transnational citizen, to work and to defend her as a son should in her quest for security, peace, and development. Let us make our generation one of the strongest and the brightest minds of all times. I truly believe my people can achieve unity. In August of 1492, Spain sent Christopher Columbus into the Atlantic Ocean with 3 small ships to search for a western trade route. Today, the Almighty Life Giver sent 3 of us, to seek this law of adoption. I, my wife, and my son. Distinguished senators, never in the history of the world had such a thing happened before. But God keeps His word, as definitely foretold here and in this request. I take pride in my calling, not to my own praises, but to the praise of God. Distinguished senators, with joint hands, Nigeria can become a recognized nation. Actually, in a short time, most never anticipated. Should Nigeria constitutional laws make room for us back home as families of 1619 Atlantic slave trade descendants on a transnational citizenship, this will be a sure way forward to reconcile and to show respect and love towards each other. This will also have a positive effect in teaching love, unity, and patriotism in Nigeria for the rest of Africa to emulate. After being away from Africa homeland for almost 422 years, I hope we, the descendants, will be given a place to point to and say that is where we are from, Africa. For me, to be Pacific, Nigeria. Distinguished senators, with God's eternal love, grace, and mercy, I pray He gives the House the willingness to pass the law of returnees' acceptance to Nigeria as transnational citizens, especially those that give birth in this time of insecurity in the nation. As a father with a Nigerian-born son in this time of insecurity, I am proud to say that I am building global highways and boosting Nigeria's population strength by adding to the population, which is noticeable internationally, while trying to encourage Nigerians to stop running away from Africa and try to help those who heed to the message by showing them light where there is darkness. I grow to understand that success in any sector is a collective venture. It is neither magical nor mysterious. It is a natural consequence of constantly applying the basic fundamentals. They work because they are strategic, dynamic, and pragmatic. No government can do it alone. We all must come together for a better Nigeria, for the rest of Africa to emulate. Distinguished senators, as you know, no man or group, neither ethics of reciprocal responsibilities or ethics of care can carry the old burden. Since no man is an island. With my knowledge in historical, legal, psychological methods of understanding, development, and abandonment, made me to always want to make this contribution to Africa in terms of encouraging and acceptable even for us Africans of the slave ancestral background to point to and call home for our self-integrity preservation. I believe this will qualify me as a true son of Africa. And only then, I repeat, only then will I have my mental freedom. I believe this is a reasonable and a fair request from us descendants of 1619 Atlantic slave trade, asking Nigeria to grant us transnational citizenship. Also to endorse my project titled Make Your Country Your Home. To enable us to assist Nigeria in its developmental process. Your Excellency, distinguished Senate President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Hamid Ibrahim Lawan, distinguished senators, with expectation, I am urgently and respectfully awaiting your positive response, loaded with love for us, your brothers and sisters, to unite for the building of this great nation, Nigeria. My quote is, a dead Nigeria is a dead Africa, and a dead Africa is an unbalanced world. God bless Nigeria founding fathers. God bless Nigerian leaders. God bless Zuma Rock of Nigeria. God bless the people of Nigeria. God bless Nigeria. Thank you for listening. God bless you.